Disney's earnings call is coming up, and there are three killer legal questions that Disney absolutely fears to hear during this earning call. And we're going to go over that today. Of course, this is a legal mindset. I'm Andrew Esquire, Florida attorney specialist in special districts surrounding Disney, long time representing special districts, so know that area of law very well, and Florida attorney, of course, living over here in Asia, currently in Tokyo, Japan. So let's get right into the big drama for Disney. They are coming up on another earnings call, and on every single earnings call, their issues have been brought up, whether it is by investors or just common people, regular people that are asking tough questions. And typically, these tough questions have involved their lawsuits. Disney is now embroiled in almost a dozen lawsuits against different entities, ranging from shareholder issues, stock issues, securities issues. They're under criminal investigation. They've got a potential defamation lawsuit they're facing, 2 suits in Florida. They are buried in litigation, and they hate to hear about it. So let's talk with number one. The number one and the most obvious thing they don't want to be asked is anything involving Disney's state or federal case and the pending motions to dismiss or motion for summary judgment in the state and federal case. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, in the federal case, we are pending a motion to dismiss. In fact, the deadline for Florida to file its responses to Disney in that case is actually November 9th. So we have the chance that there will be a bombshell response from Florida that is dropped right before the earnings call. If I were the lawyers for the Central Florida Tourism District, Ron DeSantis, in the federal case against Disney, I would absolutely 100% drop a legal bombshell right before the earnings call. Do it an hour before, 30 minutes before, so that Bob Iger has to respond to it, so he can't claim ignorance. Drop that so it's something that he has to address on the fly and he doesn't know what to do. That would absolutely be lethal to him because he wouldn't know how to respond. Regarding the state case, you have multiple motions here, which could end this case, including the motion for summary judgment, which would be a dispositive motion erasing all of Disney's claims. And there is going to be an actual hearing on Disney's attempt to delay, to pause that case. That is going to be heard during the earnings call. So now you have potential questions about a hearing that goes down during the earnings call. So you could have an actual legal ruling during the earnings call saying that, hey, Disney, your attempt to delay, we're going to deny that. We're going to have a ruling on this summary judgment motion within the next 30 days, 60 days. You could see that happening in the state case, and that would absolutely destroy Disney, would wreck them. Number two is the Gina Carano defamation issue. Now, I've covered this in a previous video, but to summarize, Gina Carano in a tweet summarized a very good case for defamation against Disney. Gina Carano has the ability to sue Disney for defamation for using an army of Twitter bots to destroy her reputation, to attack her, to call her anti-Semitic, to imply that she's a horrible person and cause other people not to hire her, to fire her, to not engage with her. That hurt her reputation. She has a potentially massive defamation case, and the others that were targeted by this Disney army could join in a class action with Gina against Disney. So there's a potential huge amount of liability exposure for Disney. So if Disney is asked, hey, look, Gina Carano, she put out this tweet about your bot army. What do you say about that, Disney? If that's asked during the earnings call, Bob Iger is going to be in a tough spot because he can neither confirm nor deny. Because see, here's the thing. If he goes out here and he lies and he said, well, Disney has never, ever, ever used any bots, well, he could be in a world of trouble for a misrepresentation if they find out that they did use bots. And it's very possible to tie bots back to Disney, provided if Elon cooperates, if Elon's cooperative with it. They can tie those bots back to Disney. there is huge exposure if he was to lie. Now, he can't say, oh, yeah, we used bots and we targeted Gina Carano. He's got to thread that needle very, very carefully in answering that question, which is why he doesn't want the question. He doesn't want to be asked anything involving Gina Carano, involving what happened to her. He might just end up saying or trying to say, well, Gina just has a bone to pick with us, or she's just mad, or, we have no obligation to hire her. I don't know how Iger would wiggle out of that, but it's a tough situation. It's one where he has to be very, very careful because it can have potential liability, potential securities issues if he makes a misrepresentation on an earnings call. So that's something very, very careful. And the last one, the third one, and this is perhaps for me the most critical, the most killer, is involving the criminal investigation. But before I get into that, guys, I appreciate all of you. I love you. You guys have made my channel great. You've pushed me past 100K subs, and you've really pushed my channel up in the algorithm. But what really helps, if you guys can right now hit that like button, just do that. Just hit the like button, and I will thank you so much for that, for supporting this channel. Just smash that like button. And so in terms of the criminal investigation, what am I talking about? I am talking about Florida. Now, Florida has been investigating Disney criminally. This is something that has been going on for the past 6 months. They've been looking into various things that Disney did wrong with RCID in the past, Reedy Creek Improvement District. When they controlled that district, they had the ability to control the use of the district's resources. So they use some of those resources, it appears, for private purposes. And you're not supposed to use public funds for private purposes. That is indeed criminal. So some of the things they're going to be looking at are stuff like the use of the police, the use of the security that were hired by Reedy Creek Improvement District. Were those solely used on Disney property? Where else did they go? Also, the use of several pieces of infrastructure, ranging from trash cans to trails. Was the benefit, were the funds that Reedy Creek was spending, were those used on public pieces of infrastructure or really private pieces of infrastructure? Is Disney excluding people from using those pieces of infrastructure, those trails, those paths? What is the benefit? Who is benefiting from those? And beyond that, how did they use those bond funds? Are those bond funds being used to build something that was given over to a private corporation? Or are those bond funds that were supposed to be used for public things like roads, like conservation areas, were those used solely for Disney's benefit? If they were, there are actual people that could be thrown in jail, not just Reedy Creek employees, but also Disney employees that were collaborating, that were in the know, and that knowingly violated state law by using public funds for private purposes. This is something that Iger does not want to talk about. He does not want to face. And if he gets any of these questions, he will be absolutely felted by the damage of these questions. So because of that, these are the ones that I would die to hear during the investor meeting. And perhaps there's some people out there listening that may have some Disney stock that may want to ask these questions. Just saying, they'd be really good questions. Until next time, though, guys, smash the like if you like it. Drop a comment below. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will catch you later. Peace.